Good morning and welcome back. So, got my outdoor check education thinking cap. I got my Whitney Science shirt on, and you found this video. So, let me kind of explain the process and see if this is something you want to do. Here's how this works. You have the opportunity to earn up to 10% of extra credit. Now, is that going to be just given to you? No, it is not going to just be given to you. You got to do work. So we have broken it down into two units. The first unit is genetics. The second unit is DNA, transcription and translation. So let me kind of talk about the process. Each of those units are going to be 5%. So first off, I'm in the slideshow right now. Parts of it are missing because I haven't done the lecture yet for today's lesson. But the second slide, which is right here, is where my video is going to be implanted. So just to explain what's happening. All right, slide 3. Let me talk a little bit about what you need. Number 1, you're going to need a notebook. We're going old school on this a little bit. So I think it's cool. We'll see how you feel. Every day, you're going to be writing down the agendas and inner works just like before. Okay, so that's the same, except you're going to do a better job. Some kids do great, some kids do terrible. Now, if you do terrible, this is the cool part. You don't get your 5% extra credit. Yeah, you have to do everything to get your 5%. So you're going to be keeping track every single day about what you're doing and the inner work. Okay. All my notes are going to be available on Schoology. Okay, there's going to be links to them. I'm trying to keep everything contained in this one document. So all you have to do is click on things, so you don't have to hunt around in a bunch of folders. See how that works. So there's going to be different PowerPoints or Google slideshows. I'm going to be doing lectures on them. You're going to be writing things in a notebook. So let me show you what your notebook's going to look like. It's going to look like this. Okay, so this is also what you will be turning in. Okay, you're going to be taking pictures of your notebook, pasting them in a Google Doc at the end of the unit. Let me repeat, end of the unit, and submitting it. Okay, I have outlined what you are going to need to have in your notes and activities that I sometimes call left side, because that's what I do in geology, that you're going to do from the slideshows and from my presentation. So if it looks like I'm going super fast right now and you can't read any of this, that's fine. It's all in there. Okay. So I would tell you, you're going to handwrite everything. Okay. How much notes do you have to write? Everything that I put in this document needs to be in there. And then you're going and like answering the definitions, or you're answering the questions, or you're writing the things down that are the most important from the slideshow. So, like I said, you will be submitting at the end of the unit a Google Doc with your notebook in it, taking pictures, pasting them in, submitting it. I will be looking through it. If you're missing things, I will tell you it's incomplete. You got to go back and fix it. Pretty much, I'm going to be counting pictures. So every single page needs to be on a one picture per page. Okay, so that's going to be a running total. So you can keep a look at that as we go along. So like I said, you will be copying down my notes as a template. You'll be writing down information from the slideshows. You'll be listening to my explanations, and you can write down anything you want there as well. And then there's going to be activities that you include within this. So remember, see if I can move my face out of the way. You have to answer everything for your extra credit, everything. So one more time, that's what your agendas need to look like. Don't do it your own way. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you I'm sorry. You got to go back and redo your agendas and make them look like mine. Okay? Yes, it needs to be handwritten, unless you have some special need that you need to talk to me about. So If you do not have a notebook, like you're like, hey, I'm Dorchek, I'm quarantined, I can't get out and get a notebook, that's cool. Just use paper. Old school, man. You know, like lined paper, write it out, keep your own little notebook. Yeah, you can make your own notebook. You don't actually have to spend 45 cents at Walmart like I did. Yeah. All right. So then you're going to have your agendas every single day. Boom. Just like before. Nothing, nothing different there. And that was kind of my goal when I was doing this. And we're doing it a little bit different than the other biology teachers. Because I wanted my class to flow as similarly as possible to kind of what we did before. And all like the doodle sheet things. It's not that those aren't good. It's just a lot of that was like talking back and forth. So my feeling is I'd rather hit the material, make sure you know the material, take notes on the material, do my activities. Like this one, there's a writing prompt between nature versus nurture based on stuff that you've learned from the slideshows. And then you take a quiz. So every day there's a quiz. And every day when you take the quiz, you got to get 100%. So you have to keep going over the quiz until you get 100%. Um, you're allowed to use your notes. Like that's the whole point of your notes. You take good notes, the quiz should be super easy. There will be some of the questions that you will only get right by paying attention to the videos. Other times there's going to be videos that through Edpuzzle that I'm going to insert in that like you have to watch the show and then they'll stop and then you have to answer the questions during the video. And all this is going to show up inside of our Schoology gradebook. And inside the Schoology gradebook, you're going to notice that it doesn't change your grade because everything is worth 0 in terms of like points awarded towards the percent of your grade. So what I do is after you're done with everything, you submit your materials, okay, your digital notebook, you've taken all the quizzes, you get 100% on everything. On the Aries grade, I will add 5%. So let's say you're a kid sitting at an 83% and you're like, man, I want to get an A, which is also inner work. You have to do both units, okay? Let's say you're a kid sitting at an 86%. Could you do one unit and now have an A minus? Yeah, you could. If you do 2 units, you now get an A instead of an A minus. Some of the UC schools look at plus or minuses, so that can be important in private schools. What else about that? So you can actually raise your grade an entire letter grade. If you choose to not, then you just have your third quarter grade. I would remind you, you can go back and do missing work for partial credit. So if you want to see kind of where getting the partial credit does first, and you have to clear all your essential skills, and then this is going to be open. So like I said, you'll see your materials inside of Schoology. It won't change your percentage. I change your grade on the Aries report card. So if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to me. Yeah, so that's kind of the way this works. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm glad that we're doing stuff that I feel like you need to know for your future life in biology. Um, and if you want to improve your grades, you can. So anyway, if you have any questions, like I said, drop me an email.